to end this with the last topic of the night. We gonna go with some picks. Um, we gonna start off with the Saints and the Cowboys. We gonna save our teams for last. So we gonna start
Okay.
off with the Saints and Cowboys. Both coming off really big wins. Saints scored 47 points, I believe, the most in the league last week, even though it was against Carolina. But you never know. And the Cowboys look dominant. So what do you guys give you a little your synopsis of what you think about this game?
Um. So former quarterback for the Raiders, Derek Carr. The Saints, they did look good. They got a lot of weapons over there. Kamara's back in the lineup. Um, they got they always had a hell of a defense.
Yeah.
Um, but see, they played Carolina, so I even when Carr went there last year, I thought they were a little um underwhelming, so to speak, because everybody kept saying, "All the Saints need is a quarterback. All they need is a quarterback." And when they got one, it really didn't translate. But I mean, hey, a win is a win. Wins don't come easy in the NFL, so I can't take nothing away from them, because sometimes when you supposed to win, you lose, and sometimes
Right.
the ones that you supposed to lose or people are betting on you to lose, you kind of win, so it kind of evens it out. But
Right.
I got the Cowboys winning this game. I always felt like the Cowboys are probably like top five, top seven most talented teams in the league. Despite what Maine was saying last week about them throwing in the towel and tanking. I mean, now everybody is, kumbaya. Dak got his deal. CD got his deal. So now it's just more so, status quo. Just So I think I got the Cowboys winning this game.
Yeah, I mean, this is I'm a listen. The Saints, they shout out to them. They did what they had to do last week. But one thing the Cowboys are great at is dominating mediocre and lower teams. They beat them
Hmm.
bad. They've been doing that for the past 3 or 4 years. They dominate media. I mean, I think they're the best at playing against mediocre to bad teams. The way they do them typically, like I feel like other good teams, they beat the bad and mediocre to bad teams pretty good. But Cowboys embarrass them typically. They go like and I don't think New Orleans, I don't see them as a good team. I think they're below average, pushing close to average, but I think they're a below average team.
Right, right, right.
Uh, I believe this game. I was on one of them on my other show. Shout out to NBS that I do shows with, and I said that I have them winning by 3 scores. I have the Cowboys winning by at least 17, but I've tempered it
Woo.
back down to 14
Mhm.
as the couple of days that went by. So I got it down to 2 scores now, but I have the Cowboys easily winning this game, and it might get worse than what I say. Like I think this game's gonna be an easy blowout for the Cowboys. I that defense, they're just too fast. They put
Too
too much
much.
pressure on quarterbacks. I don't see this being the
Okay.
game at all. I'm going with 30, 34, 17, 34, 17, maybe 34-20.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm gonna
Go
say
ahead.
I didn't even give a score, but I'm gonna say 31. I'm gonna say 31-20.
Okay, okay. We gonna go on to another big game this week. The Bengals versus the Chiefs. What you got there?
Again, man, I hate the Chiefs, but um, I got the Chiefs winning this game. I think the Bengals. The storyline is that the Bengals has the Chiefs number, but look, the Chiefs are the defending champs. Um, and listen, Burrow gonna have to, Burrow gonna have to do something, man. Like, look. You got a pass last year. You was injured. A couple of your other players, key players, were injured. You guys made the Super Bowl a couple years ago. That's all well and fine. But now, when you get put up in that rare air of a top three, top five young quarterback in this league, you're gonna have to walk it and talk it. And he's been walking it, but I mean talking it, but he hasn't really been walking it.
Right.
And listen, you going against Patrick Mahomes, man. So I got the Chiefs winning this game, but if they go down 0-2, I mean, listen, I want to see if he gets that criticism that a lot of these other quarterbacks like Hurts and Lamar get. I want to see if he gets this criticism. Starting 0-2, being a so-called contender. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna tell you right now, he's not gonna get the criticism because his career so far in his first 2 weeks of every season that he's played, he's 1-8 in his first 2 weeks. He's won one game in his first 2 weeks, his whole career so far. 1-8 is his record. They start slow. The Bengals always start slow. But on the other flip side, the league had 2 years
Mm-hmm.
to get the Chiefs and knock them down. The Chiefs was at a minimum at offense. They wasn't stretching the field. They couldn't stretch the field like that consistently, like they used to when they had Tyreek Hill. The Chiefs now, to me, have more weapons than they ever had. Tyreek
They
was a
sure
beast,
do.
was amazing, and obviously Kelsey was better back then as well. But they have so much talented weapons with speed now. They have a better running back than they had during that era. They no one's Tyreek Hill on the team, at least not yet. Or I don't think Worthy will be that, but I think
Right,
he's going
right,
to be
right.
really good. But now you got Worthy, you got Hollywood Brown. Whenever he decides to play, they got Rice. Kelsey's still a
Well,
top three
even with the
tight end,
news on
excuse me, tight
Brown,
end.
I think Brown is going to be out for a while. They put him on IR,
Did
so
they?
he might.
I thought he was
Yeah,
questionable yesterday. They put him on IR
I read
today.
it. Yeah, I read it today. He needs shoulder surgery. So he's
Okay.
going to be sidelined for a large part of the season.
Okay.
So,
Okay. So
but even still, like
right.
they have a
It's plenty
they
of
have a
time.
dimension where they, like you said, they can stretch the field, and all that underneath stuff could go to Kelsey and Rice.
Right. Right. So I feel like this game is simply like I don't see the Chiefs losing to the Bengals. I think the Chiefs is just on a whole nother level right now. And Bengals is missing T. Higgins. Chase is still getting himself in full game shape because he came back late.
Hmm.
I got this game being score being about another 31-20 for the Chiefs. Did you give a score?
I didn't give a score, but I got 28-13.
Okay, okay. All right, so we go move on. We go move on to another game. I didn't even mention it when we spoke, but I must have missed one out. So I'm gonna go Rams and Cardinals.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Uh, well, I like the Rams in this one, and even though my boy Puka, Baby Cup, he's not going to be playing. He's going to be sidelined for a few weeks. Um, I just think I just think McVay is just a better coach. I think the Rams got a better roster. Um, Cardinals do got some talent, but they got some kinks to iron out. And just watching the Rams last week, I mean, no matter what they got going on, they always seem to play tough.
Right.
They are very prepared. A well coached team, well oiled machine. They play
Mhm.
tough. So, and it's a divisional game. I just think the Rams will pull this out. It may be a little close, um, but I just think the Rams will pull this one out.
The score?
Score, I'm gonna say 23-17.
Okay, okay. I think this is a very tough game for both teams. Both of them played very well last week against tough opponents, and they just couldn't hold on. Uh, both of them to me showed plenty of fight last week to show that they're capable of competing in this league this year. To be not a contender for a Super Bowl, but a contender for a wild card spot.
Well,
They both showed
mhm.
that to me. So I agree with you with the coaching. I think coaching is what wins this game. No, like you said, no matter what's going on, McVay always has them ready to play. You rarely see the Rams get blown out with at least most of their stars, and you really see
They
that happen.
compete.
They do what they need to do. Cardinals, I watched that full game. That's actually the only game I watched in the 1 o'clock slot, and
Hmm.
I liked what they were doing. They blew it. To me, they blew that game against the Bills. And we just seen what the Bills did yesterday to the Dolphins, so we know the Bills is legit. So for the Cardinals to be right there with them last week, that kind of scares me to take this pick that I wanted that I'm going to take with the Rams. But I do ultimately have the Rams winning this game for coaching reasons.
Right,
Um,
right, right,
I
right.
like their run game to go along with it. Uh, I got this game being 27-21 for the Rams. All right,
Okay, so
we got the same game for everybody, right? Everything so far we got the same.
yeah,
It's just different
right,
scores, the same result. The
yeah.
last game before we get to our teams, we got the Bears versus the Texans. What you got?
I'm gonna go with the Texans on this one. Um, the Bears, for all the talent that they have, they were very fortunate to win the game that they had against last week against the Titans. Um, I believe they scored two defensive touchdowns. Will Levis, he kind of had a couple of bad throws out there. Um, and Caleb, he didn't really look too Caleb-ish, you know what I mean? But hey, welcome to the NFL. I mean, listen, you don't have any pimple face 19-year-olds trying to chase you down, man. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right,
All that schoolyard stuff. Yeah, Mahomes, he could do that, but you know what I'm saying? You ain't on that level right now.
right.
Um, and listen, Stroud has proven to be the real deal. D'Amico Ryans has them playing with their hair on fire. I just feel like they'll take control of this game. It's not. I wouldn't say it's going to be a blowout, but I think the Texans will control this game from pretty much from start to finish.
Okay.
So
You got a score?
I have a score. I'm gonna say 24 to 13.
24-13. Now I'll be honest, I wasn't impressed with either team last week. Texans struggled with the Colts to me last week. Um, they definitely did something that was not expected, at least to me. I thought
Mm-hmm.
Mixon was more so there just for to keep the defense honest. I didn't know Mixon was gonna be 30 carries.
The Focal, yeah,
Physically
he had a big
30
game. Yeah,
carries. Like
yeah.
they dominated running the ball, and they controlled the clock. The passing game was what I expected it to be. I think that Stroud's gonna not be Stroud for a few weeks because he has three receivers that need the ball. And that's
Mm-hmm.
hard to do for a young quarterback to have three receivers that all want the ball. Not that they're saying, give me the ball, give me the damn ball like Keyshawn was used to do back in the day, Keyshawn Johnson. But in his mind, he know he has three very good receivers. And he wants to get all of them the ball. And it's not like a natural thing. It's at least to me, I don't think it's gonna be a natural
Listen,
just the guy's open. It's gonna be I gotta get him the ball. He hasn't touched it in the whole possession type thing. And when you start thinking like that, when the game's moving that fast, that's when you're late throwing the ball and stuff like that. So I'm not too big on the Texans right now. The
mm.
Bears, I'll tell you this: if Caleb had just played mediocre last week, I would have felt comfortable taking the because I think their defense is legit. Like I think their
Oh,
defense is really
definitely
legit.
is.
But I don't know what Caleb is in the NFL. He's not like he had 89 yards or 90 yards. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
hard to do in today's NFL. Not to have 100 yards passing, like that's hard to do. And it wasn't like they played some world beaters or nothing last week. Like the Titans, they played the Titans. Like
Right, right.
so, I'm not sure. So if I would have had a mediocre Caleb, I would have went for the upset and took the Bears. But I don't know who Caleb is yet in the NFL. So I'm gonna go with the Texans. I have the Texans winning this game 24 to 17, 24-17
Not bad.
Texans.
Not bad.
So far we got the same picks, and now we going over to our teams. And in this show, we got both of our teams. We're gonna start with the Raiders versus the Ravens.
The Ravens. All right. So this one is really easy for me. When the schedule came out, I had us losing this game anyway. I had us winning week one, but I also had us losing this game. And even though I feel like the fan in me feels like, okay, we got to get a win, and we do have to get a win. But listen, I'm going to be logical. The Ravens are tough. We're a West Coast team traveling to Baltimore, so that's against us. We really the last few years hasn't fared well for us when it comes to East Coast games. We struggle with that, and listen, not every day you get to hold Herbert to under 150 yards passing, but now we playing against Lamar, a MVP caliber person. Um, we struggled with offense last week, from the offensive line to play calling to clock management. And the Ravens have a much better defense than the Chargers. I really don't see how we can win this game. But what I will be looking for, I want to look to see how we bounce back from adversity. I
Mhm.
want to. The Ravens is coming off. They coming off of a loss too against the Chiefs. So they want to get that first win as well, and they're home. But for us, I want to see. Listen, y'all had all this hype. Antonio Pierce had the Black Air Forces, had the Low Riders, had the you know had the NWA playing in the background, all of that. Listen, all of that is good for nostalgic purposes and the rah rah. But like I said, man, I'm a fan that wants results. You know what I'm saying? And
For
then
sure.
if you doing all that rah rah stuff without wins, all that is hard to tolerate. And
Right.
after that, it's like, what are we doing? So I'm looking to see if we bounce back. I'm looking to see if we actually play the Raider way, which is not not doing what the defense gives us or not doing what the other team dictates to us, but actually taking what we want. Are we going to go out there and fight tooth and nail against Lamar? Now, I would say the last 2 or 3 times we actually played the Ravens well. The last time we played the Ravens, we actually beat them.
Mm.
But I just think this one is a little too tough to overcome. And like I said, when the schedules came out, I had this going down as an L anyway. So
Okay.
we'll see.
What you got score?
Score. Listen, man, it's a toss up because I feel like either we get washed, right, or I feel like we keep it close and we lose a heartbreaker. But just to put the positive vibes out there, I'm gonna have the Ravens winning 31-27.
Okay. 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 Let's get some confidence over there. I take it. It's confidence
Yeah,
without confidence. That's what I got
yeah.
of
I'm a
that.
I'm just trying to be a realist, brother. Just being a
I
realist.
got you. I got you. So with me with this game, I spoke about this again on the other show that I'm part of. One thing the Ravens don't do well is if they're behind, they change their game. When I mean that
Hmm.
they go away from what they do. They're a running team first. Always been. Even before Lamar. So this is what the Ravens do. But when they get behind, when they play against teams that they know can score, that they know go into the score, they just change.
Right.
I don't like how they play against. They too much passing, too much step backs. Like Derrick Henry had 10 carries. That's not gonna happen this week. And I know they put out that they didn't bring Derrick Henry here to have 30 carries. I think that's just talk to try to
Yeah.
make the
Yeah.
Raiders think that they're not going to do it. They're going to pound this ball this week. They're going to run. They just seen Dobbins come off 100 and something yards off 10 carries. Uh, I think this is going to be a game where they can run because I feel like they're going to be leading the game most of the game, majority of the game. Not a knock against your Ravens. I just think it's just a better team. The Ravens is just a better team. Um, I actually don't have this being a good game. Honestly, it's no shade at all. I don't care if the Ravens is good or not. I mean, I support Lamar. But I got this game. I got the Ravens being up pretty healthy and running the ball very, very heavy with Derrick Henry. I got Derrick Henry with at least 20 carries this game. Um, I see the score being 31-13. I was with you on the 31 too, but I got
Hey,
Ravens getting 13 points.
I'm not. Listen, I'm not
That's
mad
your
at
other
it,
half
bro.
that you thought though. That's your other half. The
I ain't.
blowout or either a heartbreak. If I thought that with my team, I'm gonna go with the top, the one you did. So I feel you on that. So, but that's why I got thirty-one
I'm
thirteen in
not
that
mad
game.
at
We
it.
still
I
got
ain't
we
mad at it.
both still all got the same picks, just different
We gotta
scores.
show something. We gotta show
Yeah,
some goddamn heart. If we don't show no heart, it's gonna be ugly. If we play like we played last week, it's gonna be ugly.
I put it like
Point
this:
blank period.
they're a Super Bowl contender. It's
Right.
not a knock to y'all if they smoke y'all. It's like what I'm saying. They're Super Bowl contender. So I personally, I get you as a fan not liking that because you want to see some fight. But me as just a fan of football, but not any of the teams, Ravens blowing out the Raiders. I'm not like, oh, I'm like, okay, it's the Ravens. Like
Right.
against the Raiders that's trying to see what they can be. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I got out of that. On to the last team. We got my team, the Commanders versus the Giants. You want to lead?
I'll take this one.
Good.
And then I'll let you close it out. But the Giants, listen, Dan Quinn, he's seen a lot of Daniel Jones in the last few years. He's a hell of a defensive coach. Um, and you guys are coming off a loss. I think you guys actually will win this pretty convincingly. The Giants is, to me, they're a dumpster fire until they change the quarterback. They do have talent on defense. I will say that. But to me, um, and I said this last year, I thought they were the least talented team in the division. I just feel like with y'all coming off of a loss, with Dan Quinn um, being familiar with the Giants and their scheme, and I feel like just to have you guys have that added explosive element at the quarterback position, even if he is a rookie, I just feel like the Commanders will pull this one out. Uh, maybe it's close, but I wouldn't say it's a blowout, but I say you guys will win convincingly. You know what I mean?
I get what
So
you're
I'm
saying.
yeah, so I'm gonna say 24-13. I don't think they're gonna threaten you guys at all.
24-13. Okay, okay. I put it to you like this: Commanders country, you have to win this game. You
Right.
have to. Now the scary part is Daniel Jones always looks good against us. No matter how bad he's playing, he comes against us and he always plays his off. He always does somehow. I don't know what it is, but we got new coaching.
Hmm.
One thing I say about Jaden, other than that first pass of the game, Jaden looks like he just the world is his. Like he looks like if you I don't know if you, how deeply you watched it. He has a mouthpiece, but he doesn't wear it. He has it to the side like Steph Curry when he at the free throw line. Like he just
Yeah.
like comfortable. Like he feels like I can do anything I want at any point on this field, whether he does it or not. And I love that. I love that. And I watched him and I'm just like, boy, put the mouthpiece in. Like, what's wrong with you?
You
But
got you got
he
Moxie.
feels yeah, he feels comfortable like that. And like you said, the Giants defense, I like their defense. They have a solid defense. Um, our secondary scares me still. And I know Hyatt can get deep. He killed us last year with a couple of deep bombs. We know what Neighbors is. We know what he can do. Neighbors is to me, he's literally the new age Odell Beckham in his prime, in my mind. And then Darius Slayton always kills us too for some reason. So I would say I feel comfortable. This game's our home opener. We're bringing
Hmm.
back the yellow pants, the old Hogs pants, the yellow pants with the yellow with the burgundy. We're bringing that
Okay.
back, the burgundy and gold. I think the fans is gonna be hyped for the first home game of the season with Jaden being there. I see Jaden just being Jaden. I hope he does what he does because the coach put out that we don't want him to run. We want him to look to run the pass, and that's cool. I want him to do that too, but I don't want him to get to a point where he's forcing passes because you don't want to run too much. If it's there, just go. Just go. We'll worry about getting everything fixed as we go, as the season goes along. But right now we have no receivers like that. Make sure we get Terry that ball and feed my boy Brian Robinson, B Rob and Eck. My boy Eck, I call him Eck now. He a commander, so he get a nickname. We call him Young Eck over here.
Well,
I think
real,
that we well yeah, what you about to say?
I was gonna say real quick because it almost slipped my mind. I wanted to ask you when we first started the call, but um, you said something about Scary Terry not getting enough targets last week.
Right.
Um, I had the same problem with Devontae. Not He only had like 6 targets, and for me, I mean, this guy's a future Hall of Famer. I need at least double
Sure.
digits. So what I'm saying is, what I wanted to ask you is, with Cliff Kingsbury, did you see anything um, scheme wise with the offense that you questioned or that you kind of like expected but you didn't see, and you're like, wait, what's going on here?
I questioned him that 80, I think they said 87% of the snaps,
Mm-hmm.
Terry McLaurin lined up on the left side. He didn't move anything on the slot at all, really. You have to move him around, put him in
Like,
motion, get
mm-hmm.
find matchups, find preferable matchups for him sometimes. Because to me, Terry is not a great number one. He's a good number one. To me, he's not an elite wide receiver to me. It's hard with him never having an elite quarterback, but just watching the games and everything,
Right.
I don't think he's an elite. He's not Devontae Adams in his prime to me. So I think he's a very good number one. We don't have CeeDee Lamb. We don't have no CeeDee Lamb. We don't have no Justin Jefferson. We don't have Devontae in his prime. We don't have Stephon Diggs in his prime. I think he's very good. I think he's Adam Thielen in his prime. And that was a very good receiver. But I don't think he was elite. I think Stephon Diggs drew a lot of coverage and that left Thielen more open. to get
Right,
off
right,
more than Stephon did back in the day with the Vikings. But we
right.
never had that second person like that. So I think for me, I know you said double digits for Devontae, and I think that's good. I believe that, but for me, I'm good with 6 or 7 for Terry. Terry really never had double digits. Uh, so I can't even go ask for that. I know Devontae's had that plenty of times, especially when he's with A-Rod. So for me, 6 or 7 targets, he should never have less than five receptions a game at this point. Um, Jaden needs to run that ball. We want to keep that threat, and I'm worried about the Giants' defensive line for sure, but I think that we should win this game. I have it being we scored 20 points against Tampa, and we barely had the ball, barely had it because they controlled the clock like crazy.
Controlled it.
Um,
Hmm.
I see us. I see 27 to 16. 27 to 16, yeah, 27 to 16 for the Commanders. Um, I hope so. I mean, this is a home opener. We need to get this win and go 1-1. And get the fan base behind us so we don't have them stands empty because they're gonna back out real quick if we start losing too much. So let's get the fan base back going. And I see y'all October 6th. I'm coming up there to Cleveland. I mean to play against Cleveland.
Right.
So I need y'all to be in there hype. So um we picked everybody the same. Different scores, but everybody the same. So that was I
They always
great
say the
show.
biggest.
What'd you say?
My bad. Now, I was saying they always say the biggest jump in the beginning of the season is from week 1 to week 2. So we'll see if our teams could be able to bounce back.
For sure, definitely.